and hopefully you will not disappoint us in terms of entertainment. I have seen last 2-3 days you have preparing trailer packs before the successive ceremony celebrated. So I hope it won't be a disappointment for both the teams. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Today's motion will be Friends influence personality development more than family, which will be between Wallace and Kalani. I would like to welcome Fazil Fazmi, Abdullah Hilmi, Iyad Imtiaz, Harun Fahim from Wallace House, on the other hand, need arises. Second, third, and fourth speakers will get 2 minutes each to present their arguments. After the first round, the teams will be provided 3 minutes each to sum up and prepare the rebuttal, which will be presented by the team leader. Each leader will get 2 minutes to sum up their points and for rebuttal. No new constructive arguments are encouraged during the summing up. Time allocated for tolerance will be 30 seconds. Today's motion will be Friends influence personality development more than family. I would like to welcome Fazil Fazmi from the proposing team.
For me, one of my close friends is among the audience. He is the person who helped me to self-reflect, who helped me to spread my wings and influence my personality development more than my family. Respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends, today my team and I are here to prove that friends influence personality development more than family. Just think about it for a second. A friend is a person who helps to spread their mutual relationship with you. They're able to communicate. They're able to share your feelings and thoughts, to agree, to make you comfortable, and to encourage you to be yourself than what others say. So how does this influence personality development in a big scale? See, friends are people you choose. So what you choose is something either what you can have with your common sense. So when you choose your friends, it's more likely that you will choose the right friends that are fitting for you. And that your decision that you made will help you to influence in a big scale and improve your personality over time. Whereas in families, there are something that is given. You are forced into it. They tell you to do something that you don't like. And what happens is that thing that comes to you reduces your influence. And that reduces your personality development than what friends would do. Studies show that during adulthood, friends play a significant role in influencing personality development. For instance, the YMCA parent-teenage survey found that 51% of all teens and friends look for advices from their friends. This shows that personality development is built from friends only, than on families. Let's focus on personality. So personality is something with a combination of characteristics that defines you. And in personality, there are 5 common traits. We have openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. See, studies show that with these traits, friends are more prone to influencing in a higher scale than family. And this would help to increase their personality development by 51%. If you carefully think about it, you're the person who wants to be comfortably to go and connect with your friends. You spend time with them most of the time. You go play football, you play cricket, you go and talk to them about their life. Well, your family does not have time for you. Friends are everything. They mean the world to some people. They bring sunshine, rainbows to our heart. That bond, that mutual affection, that relationship is the most influential for personal development and definitely much more than family.
I would like to welcome Marshall Nabil from the opposing team.
The whispers of friends may be loud. The echoes of family last a lifetime. Ellie learned this truth the hard way. You see, Ellie's life had hit rock bottom. She felt like she was drowning in a sea of despair with no lifeline in sight. Every waking moment was a pure agony. At her lowest point, Ellie found herself alone, curled up in a dark alley, shaking from withdrawal. She barely recognized herself, hollow cheeks, bloodshot eyes, and an overwhelming emptiness gnawing at her soul. The weight of her grief and loss crushed her, leaving her feeling utterly broken and alone. Then in that darkness, she heard it, her mother's voice in her memory. Stay true to yourself, no matter what. Ellie broke down, sobbing so hard it felt like her heart would burst, but that moment became her turning point. She realized she was living true to herself or to the family who had loved her so early. The road to the recovery wasn't easy, but Ellie clung to her parents' values, honesty, hard work, and resilience. And therefore, she found her way back. Years later, Ellie stood at her college graduation, having rebuilt her life, guided by her family lessons. Honorable panel of judges, teachers, students, and my worthy opponents, a warm welcome to you all today. Family is the first to shape you, whether you like it or not. They teach you respect, responsibility, and discipline. Friends, they show up later throwing around advices like, just follow your heart, or you will figure it out, while making their own questionable life choices. But here's the truth. Who we are, our resilience, our self-control, and emotional strength is built at home. A study by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that 50 to 60% of our personality traits, our ability to handle stress, our discipline, our emotional stability are shaped by family. So let's be real. Friends may influence your hairstyle, but family shapes your character. When life falls apart, when you fail, when you break, when you lose, who's there? Family. They might say, your friends might send you, you got this text, maybe even a heart emoji. But let's be honest, they move on. A study from Social Psychology Quarterly found that 50% of friendships dissolve within an year. That means the person shaping your personality today might not even remember your name tomorrow. And yet my opponents stand here claiming that these temporary figures shape personality more than the people who built us from birth. Maybe they should focus on keeping a friendship alive before preaching about its influence. At the end of the day, when the noise of fleeting friendship fades, what remains? Not the ones who laughed with you at lunch, not the ones who gave you fashion advice. Family. How many friends will drop everything at 3 a.m. to save you? How many will give up their dreams to carry you through your darkest days? Very few. But family, they do it without hesitation, without recognition, and without limits. They are the anchors in our storm, the builders of a character, and the reasons we endure. You see, friends may come and go, but family is forever, and no fleeting friendship could ever replace that. Thank you.
From the proposing team.
Should exactly do, when to do it, and how to do it. When you come to school, they force you to get good grades. When you go for higher studies, they tell you doctor, engineer, lawyer. Even when choosing your life partner, they tell you who to marry. My dear opponents, let me ask you this. When it comes to big life decisions, do your friends impose their vision on you? Or do they give you the freedom to explore, shape your path, and decide who you truly want to be? The truth is, friends allow us to make choices more freely. And at the end of the day, it's the choices we make that truly shape us more than what we're forced onto. That's why friends, not family, influence personality development more. But what about self-esteem, the key to confidence and identity? Research shows that peer acceptance influences about 40% of self-esteem, just 25%. So, your friends have a bigger impact on how you feel about yourself than your family. Your family may teach you numerous morals and ethics, but if your friends don't follow them, neither will you, as you would just try to fit in with them anyways. This affects everything. How you talk, dress, the music you listen to, and even the food you eat. It's not random, it's instinct. Throughout history, fitting in with your group has always been a survival tactic, just like it was back in the caveman days. Picture this. You're a shy student, barely speaking up in class. Your family just be outgoing. You join a school club like debate or drama, surrounded by confident, like-minded people. Slowly by slowly, you start to open up, share your ideas, and eventually take on leadership roles. It's not your family helping you grow. It's your friends in that club boosting your confidence and encouraging you to take a step out of your shell, helping develop your personality much more than a family could ever do. So, my dear opponents, remember this. Family helps you start your life, but friends are the ones that teach you how to live it. Not agreeing with that is like laying the foundation of a house and not placing the bricks to build it. Thank you.
I would like to invite Rizna Kwame from the opposite.
That's about 6,570 days under their influence. 4 to 6 hours per day interacting with parents and siblings during childhood. That adds up to over 40,000 hours of direct influence before adulthood. My dear opponents, you're going to have to do better than your cherry-picked examples. Because you're telling me that your friends, the ones who stick around you, they're the ones who stick around for only a handful of years before fading into memory, influences your personality development more than your own family? Because a recent survey conducted by the Pew Research Center reveals that spending time with family is universally said as one of life's profound joys, and that the average American family spends about 6 hours and 17 minutes of quality time together. My dear opponents, you cannot just make up family. They provide emotional warmth, security, and a sense of belonging, which is very crucial for personality development. Unlike certain people you call friends who drop you for such witless reasons. Okay, let's talk numbers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average 18 to 24-year-old report is spending an average of 15 minutes a day hosting or attending social gatherings. Now, that number had dropped to 9 minutes per day. And the percentage of youngsters who indicated participating in these events at all dropped from, get this, 7.1 to 4.1% over the time span. Friendships, they're fading. They're weaker than ever. So tell me, my dear opponents, how can you claim that friends shape personality when friendships can barely even last? My opponents also stated that friends play a crucial role in shaping social identity and group affiliation. Well, guess what? The stats prove you wrong. Because while friends influence social identity, it's family that provides the core values and foundational identity. You see, according to a 2023 study by the Cultural Identity Research Institute, 75% of individuals report that their primary sense of social identity is shaped by a family influence. So, family lays the groundwork for who we are. Because at the end of the day, the facts don't lie. Friendships, they're conditional. But family is forever. Because when the world turns against you, when you have no one else to turn to, guess who's still standing beside you? Not the ones you laughed with in high school, not the ones who left when it got inconvenient, but family. They're your roots, your foundation, your home. And no fleeting, temporary, insignificant friendship could ever rival that. Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to invite Priya Bhutia from proposing team.
Am I audible and visual? Okay. In 1995, Judith Rich Harris, an American psychologist, released a book, The Nurture Assumption. It was derived from 5 major disciplines: sociology, psychology, anthropology, primology, and evolutionary biology. He came to a conclusion that friends, not family, influences personality development way more. In the past 29 years, ever since the book was released, PhD holders, criminologists, psychologists, all have tried and failed to disprove this book. So my dear opponents, if you really think a 11-minute debate is going to prove us wrong, I wish you the best of luck, because science, facts, time, and common sense are on our side. My dear opponents mentioned our resilience, emotional stability, and strength is built at home. Let's take any camp, for example. Summer camps, leadership camp, cadet camps, scout camps. All of these focus on one thing in particular: building your personality by engaging with others. Why do you think they do not allow a single parent or even a sibling together? Because they want you to make new friends, engage with them, and learn new ideas and perspectives. If your family over there, they'll be like, son, don't climb that, you'll risk yourself. But the professionals will be there, over there will be like, climb, risk yourself, make mistakes, and learn from it. That is what we call strength, my dear opponents. Next, my dear opponents mentioned 18 years, 46,000 hours you spend with your family. My dear opponents, they have 100 followers on TikTok, 200 followers on Instagram, 300 followers on Twitter, 400 people on WhatsApp, and yet they still argue that family influences personality development more than friends. My dear opponents, you go to school with your friends, you come back, you go to classes with your friends, you come back, you sit on your phone texting your friends till dinner is served and have an amazing 8 hours of sleep. Now would you spend more time with friends or family? And don't come and say you have 400 family members on WhatsApp. So let me repeat this topic again. Friends influence personality development way more than family. So tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. Thank you.
Next is David Varnasuri, the opposing team.
So think it's just us who believe family shapes personality more. Let me be clear. This isn't just an opinion, it's a fact. Sorry to say, we have science of our own. And if our opponents are so desperate to deny reality, you need more than conveniently chosen anecdotes and wishful thinking to do so. Studies show up to 60% of personality traits are heritable. And to my dear opponents, this means that genetic material shared among family members directly shapes character, intelligence, and behavior. A Yale study identified over 200 genetic links to personality traits like being outgoing, open-minded, responsible, or anxious. And it doesn't just stop at parents. Grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, they all have a lasting impact on who we become. The APA found that children with strong grandparent relationships have a 30% higher emotional stability. Regular interaction with extended family, you may ask? 20% better social skills. My opponents have also mentioned that friends are chosen based on common interests and therefore they will create these emotional bonds, it seems. My opponents, do you really think your gaming buddies and Netflix pals are the masterminds behind your personality? Really? Come on. The people who shaped your values, taught you kindness and gave you the confidence to face the world isn't your family? This is a certain group of people who taught you to talk, walk, and not to stick forks in sockets. And in case you need a reminder, it's called family. I hope you know. Now, isn't this funny? I mean, where were your so-called facts when NICHT proved 85% of character development is influenced by family? Where were those friends during the 40,000 hours your family shaped your character? Where were you when Ellie was at her lowest? And to my gifted opponents, let me leave you with this. You can argue against us, you can ignore the facts, and you can twist the narrative. But three things can never be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And the truth today is standing right in front of you. Thank you.
We have an entire farm of cherries, but my opponents are arguing with one single cherry. It doesn't take a genius to see which is more weight, right? You see, Ellie may not have had friends to support her. And yes, family supported. But is it fair to assume that every single friend out there is not going to support you? There is something called fake friends and true friends. My dear opponents, if a friend leaves you during times of need, are they a true friend? I mean, obviously, if you get your friends from Netflix and gaming like my opponents, then obviously they're going to leave you. What else are they going to do? Show you a movie when you're down? Now, my dear opponent said that the music of family stays throughout your life. Yeah, and that's a bad thing, because our topic, if you haven't noticed, is personality development, not personality developed. Your music is only going to stay for the first few years, but your friends are changing. They leave and come and go. They add new layers to your emotional intelligence. They add layers to your personality. They develop your personality. I don't have to say the word develop 100 times to make you understand, my dear opponents. I'm pretty sure you're all mature adults by now. And you have science, my dear opponents, that your friends are less influential than parents. Well, let me repeat the book of Judith Harris. 29 years and no science has been able to disprove it. I mean, obviously from www.clinic.com, they have amazing science. You should check it out. Now, you told me that studies show that parents have a great influence on core values and morals, but thing about friends is they help you to test. They help you to redefine them. Your family helps you at your dining table, but your friends, they help you in the real world. Real world experiences matter, my dear opponents. Or are you people stuck at home? You said you spent your first 18 years with your family, but yet you are here without your family. I mean, obviously, my friends don't go, my dear opponents, they don't go to school or anything. They don't go out with their friends. They're always sitting in their room with their family, right? The thing is, my dear opponents, no matter how many bedtime stories your mother reads you, no matter how many life stories your father tells you, life is not all about 3 bowls of porridge and a big bad wolf. Thank you.
From the opposing team.
Yes. Hello? Yeah.
Thank you to my opponents for the passionate defense of friendships today. Honestly, yeah, I want to ask a question. Were your friends the one who changed your diapers today? Because I can smell it out here. All right, let me clean this up now. I mean, considering your personality, I wouldn't expect you to handle it. My opponents came and mentioned that, we have true friends, bad friends, and all that type of friends. My dear opponents, the last time I checked the topic, it mentioned friends influence personality development than family. No bad friends, no good friends. No bad family, no good family. Moving on, my opponents had also mentioned that as we grow older, we're going to have to rely more on friends for family support and advice and all. All right, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. My one of the opponents are so keen on telling a fairy tale that I thought I would try one too. Family doesn't just hand you set of instructions, they instill lifelong principles. According to the NHD, human development, 97% of a child's brain development is by the age of 5, and with family interactions playing a significant role. It seems like my intellectually gifted opponents were dropped as children. Moving on, my opponents had also mentioned that, we spend more time at school so that our friends will help, influence us more. All right, let's break it down. You enter the school at 7 a.m., leave at 1:50. Do the math, 6 hours in total. You really think those 6 hours will shape your personality more than the 18 years of life with family? According to a 2019 study by the NCEH, character development is influenced by family interactions, 85%, proving that the time spent at home has a far greater impact who we are than our brief school hours of friendship. Moving on, my friends also, another one of my opponents had mentioned that, friends refer only, the topic says only friends only, but again, last time I checked the topic, it was friends influencing, not only friends. We've given you facts, logic, and truth, yet you still choose to be blind. Your cherry-picked stats and figures proves your willful ignorance. I'll be explaining more, but then, these are the type of people who refuse to see. Thank you.
The teams will be provided 3 minutes each to sum up and prepare the rebuttal, which will be presented by the team leaders. Each leader will get 2 minutes to sum up their points and rebuttal. Marshall.
Audible? Hello? My dear opponents, I'm happy that you value our friendship so much. I must commend my opponents for their spirited defense of the power of friendship. Their passion was certainly on display. Even if the arguments consistently missed the mark, it was truly inspiring to witness such dedication to a fundamentally flawed premise. So thank you, opponents, for the unintentional comedic interlude. I appreciate the levity. Also, my opponents, I'm sorry. We never said that friends have zero influence on you. What does the topic state? More influence. Either that family has more influence on you or friends have more influence on you. We never mentioned that friends have zero influence on you. It's like a cat chasing its own tail. Matter of fact, let me remind you the definition of personality development. Personality development definition is the process, it refers to the process by which the organized thought and behavior patterns that make up a person's unique personality. So it doesn't matter if friends influence you a specific period of time. When you look at the overall journey, the only person who has been you through that entire journey is your family. Furthermore, if my opponents truly believe friendship personality, let's talk about peer pressure, bullying, and toxic friendships. The National Center for Education Statistics found that 20% of students experience bullying even within their own friend group. That's 1 in 5 people being hurt by the very friends who are supposedly shaping their character. A study from the Journal of Child and Psychology found that adolescents with strong family support have higher self-esteem and better emotional regulations. So while your so-called friends tease you for your interests, it's family who teaches you confidence. While friends pressure you into bad decisions, it's family who puts you back before you fall. When it comes to shaping us, who we truly are, no one comes close to family. Let's think about it. Who taught us our first word? Who introduced us to the world, showing us right from wrong before even we knew what a friend is? Family. Our personality is not just built by who we hang out. It's crafted in the home we grew up by the people who are there from day one. Also, right now, if I was to ask my opponents, if you were given a choice to choose between your father or your friend, of course you will choose your father's advice. He has more experience. And also, remember Ellie's story? Her story is proof that friends may shape a movement, but family shapes a life. When everything else fails, when the world feels empty and when the darkness tries to swallow you, what remains is only family. Come rain or shine, sickness or health, when the plans fail and when the world turns back on you, it is not your friends that will be standing by you when the dust settles. It's the family. It's the ones whose morality runs deeper than the convenience of today and longer than the dawn of tomorrow. It's family who stands firm in the face of it all. Hear me clearly, my fellow opposition. Let it be made abundantly clear. Character forged of life is not the same as character born of convenience. Thank you.
That you are not part of the only.
I was waiting until my opponents were going to say this. But as I was waiting, I couldn't hear that word, that very important word that they were saying. I mean, they said about a lot of things about family, but influence. You see, my dear opponents, we are speaking that friends influences us to do more things, to learn more things. Characteristic is something, that a skill or personality you can have. We have a choice to choose our friends. And if we have a choice, we tend to follow it. This is what I mentioned in my first speech. And this helps you to develop your personality in a higher magnitude than if it was said to your family. Your family would go tell, please, Father, can you go throw out the trash? Would you do it? But your friends would go and come with you and let's throw it together. This simple example shows that once you like something, you tend to be more influenced and your personality will suddenly adapt to it. And this is how it develops. By this, I would like to even mention that my opponents were saying all about how friends, like fake friends and real friends, and they were coming and telling about family. Well, in the early stages. See, family is something that is implanted. That influence is forced on you. But when we continue and when we grow with the people we love. We tend to discover more things. See, even my teammate mentioned about retreat camps. That helps us to get more influence. We get exposure. We learn new things. We do. We learn about the world. And we go with our own 2 feet and tell the world who we are. So my dear opponents, I'd like to ask one question. I want you to be my friends. Because at least I know that I can influence your personality more than my family. These people right here, they have supported me all throughout my life and influenced my personality as today to speak in front of you all.
If you want to meditate, meditate. On the other hand, Anne Sharon
Proposing team
members from Wallaby House, Sharon, Faiza Nazir, Netuki Anujana, Raika Rifki. On the other hand, the opposing depends more on overcoming weaknesses than enhancing strength. Guidelines for the debate contest. The leaders of each team will be given 3 minutes to present their side of the argument. Role and time division take place within the group and it must be balanced if the need arises. Second, third and fourth speakers will get 2 minutes each to present their arguments. After the first round, the teams will be provided 3 minutes each to sum up and prepare the rebuttal, which will be presented by the team leader. Each leader will get 2 minutes to sum up their points and for rebuttal. No new constructive arguments are encouraged during the summing up. Time allocated for tolerance will be 30 seconds.
Stu Ashraf. She answers two, right? That will start.
I would like to call Anne Sharon from the proposing team.
Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible? A sword isn't forged in silk and comfort. It's forged in fire. It's hammered, bent, and burnt until every flaw is beaten out and its edge is sharp. Without that fire, it's just a useless lump of metal. And without overcoming weakness, you're just a walking bundle of untapped potential waiting to be exposed. Honorable judges, esteemed opponents, and dear audience, a very good afternoon to you all. Today, my team and I take a stand on something so obvious that personal growth depends more on overcoming weakness than enhancing strength. Let's talk about what personal growth actually means. It's the ongoing process of self-improvement, self-awareness, and development in various aspects of life. It's about expanding abilities, knowledge, emotional intelligence, and mindset. Not by coasting on strengths, but by facing and fixing the very thing that holds you back. And how do you do that? By overcoming your weakness. You learn to reflect, you become self-aware, you build emotional and mental resilience, you eliminate barriers, and most importantly, you actually grow instead of just feeling like you are. Let's be real. Strengths are like smooth roads. They are easy, predictable, and comfortable. But weakness, they are the mountains that we avoid climbing. Yet, it is those climbs that build character, push boundaries, and create real transformation. Weaknesses, if undermined, don't disappear. They become barriers. They create failure points, limit confidence, and stunt progress. But when confronted, they transform into stepping stones. Need numbers? Take it down. Study shows that people who actively work on their weaknesses are 85.95% more likely to achieve successes than those who only polish their strength. And that is not just a number, that is your wake-up call. Still not convinced? Take a look at this chart from a psychologist, Lara Morgan. It shows that the inner circle represents enhancing your strength, staying in your comfort zone where things are easy, routine, and safe. While this may make you feel competent, it doesn't lead to real growth. The outer orange circle, however, represents overcoming weakness, facing fear, self-doubt, stress, and risk. It's uncomfortable, but pushing through these challenges leads to confidence, mastery, rewards, and real growth. And now let's address the real issue. Our opponents are standing firmly in the comfort zone, probably even setting up camp there. But personal growth, that happens in the fire, in the discomfort, in the moments when you'd rather quit. Now I get it, sticking to your strength is cute. It feels safe, but it's not growth, it's maintenance. If you spend your whole life perfecting what you're already good at, congratulations, you have mastered stagnation. Thank you.
We have intermission from the opposing.
Am I audible? Am I audible? This blank paper represents your potential, full of space to create, build, and grow. When you focus on your weaknesses, you tear apart your potential. Instead of building on what you already have, you waste time trying to fix what's broken. Tell me, my dear opponents, why focus on what's broken when you have the ability to build on what's fine? Good morning, honorable judges, my admirable opponents, and to all who are seated here. Today, my team and I stand firmly behind the idea that personal growth flourishes when we enhance our strengths rather than obsessing over our weaknesses. Personal growth is the continuous process of improving our skills, qualities, and knowledge to reach our fullest potential in every aspect of our lives. Now, strengths are our natural abilities or skills that make us shine, while weaknesses are the areas we clearly struggle with. Dr. Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, showed that individuals flourish when they focus on their strengths, leading to greater happiness, higher performance, and deeper fulfillment, which all leads to personal growth. Now, my friends will argue that weaknesses must be fixed. But tell me, when was the last time obsessing over each and every flaw made anyone feel empowered? True growth happens when we excel in what makes us grow, not what holds us back. Time, energy, and resources are finite. It's basic logic. The law of diminishing returns tells us that the more time you spend trying to fix something that's not your strong suit, the less you get back for your effort. On the other hand, investing time in your strengths delivers exponential growth. As humans, we all have strengths and weaknesses. That duality is what has driven our collective progress and laid the foundation for innovation throughout history. Now, Let me enlighten you with a story. There was a boy born into poverty in Portugal. He didn't have the resources to chase every dream, but he did have one strength: football. He practiced tirelessly day in and day out, sharpening his skills. The boy grew up to become one of the greatest footballers that the world has ever known. So, be real, my dear audience. The opposition wants you to settle for less. Settle for less. But logically, if we know that enhancing strength drives far more impactful outcomes, why not focus on building skyscrapers instead? Because I think that's how you believe life. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Faisal Najee from the proposing team.
Am I audible, judges? Am I audible? It is not your strengths that hold you back. It's your weaknesses. Those blind spots you pretend don't exist. The flaws you conveniently ignore. And the things you refuse to fix. Because, well, effort is hard. Here's a fun fact. 80.67% of people fail to reach their full potential because they hardly ever address their weaknesses. But sure, keep focusing on what you're already good at. That'll get you far. Say no successful person ever. Unchecked weaknesses don't just remain minor flaws. They become barriers that limit growth and blind spots that hinder decision making. What you ignore today could be the very thing that holds you back tomorrow. Identifying and addressing these weaknesses prevents them from silently sabotaging your success. Businesses, for example. Imagine a business with a best-selling product. Amazing, right? But what about the underperformers? The product bleeding money, wasting resources, and dragging the whole company down. That's where real success is determined. The smart businesses don't just sit around patting themselves on the back for their one good idea. They stop whining and fix what's broken. And if you think this only applies to business, let's talk sports. A study in psychology of sport and exercise found that athletes who worked on their weaknesses like endurance or leadership found a 93% boost in overall performance. Now my opposition mentioned, when was the last time someone grew by fixing their weaknesses? Let's take Michael Jordan as an example. The man was already an offensive powerhouse, but in order to become a complete player, he realized he had to fix his defensive skills, his weakness. So what did he do? He worked tirelessly on his positioning, his anticipation, and his aim. And the result? Defensive Player of the Year in 1988, 6 NBA championships. Basketball immortality. Now imagine if Michael Jordan had said, oh well, I come from a high school basketball team, but at least I'm really good at math. Would we have the God we know today? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, overcoming weakness isn't optional. It's the difference between mediocrity and greatness. So you have two choices. Keep polishing your strengths and stay exactly where you are, or face your weaknesses and actually grow. The wise choice is yours.
Next, we have Charlie from the opposing team.
Am I audible?
Think about it. There's an Olympic sprinter stopped to perfect their knitting skills. There's a chess grandmaster waste time worrying about their freestyle swimming. No, they double down on what they're great at and dominate their field. That's how champions are made. Our strengths are usually tied to what we love doing. You will never, ever hear someone say, "Oh, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day to work on my weaknesses." Why? Because weaknesses drain us. Strengths ignite us. A passionate person pours their heart and soul into their strengths, transforming them into brilliance. Albert Einstein, for example. Einstein was a genius, creative, curious. Through continuous learning and self-improvement, he remained ahead of everyone else. Yes, he had flaws. Yes, he struggled in school. And yes, he was forgetful. But my opponents, on the other hand, they have flaws, but no brains to back them up. What an interesting world we live in. People can have infinite weaknesses, but time, money, and strength are limited. We try to fix all of our weaknesses. When, my dear opponents, when will we have the time to truly become better, to truly develop our personal growth? Now, my opponents here seem to have spent more time trying to fix the weaknesses in their arguments than actually trying to make sense. They claim that personal growth depends on weaknesses, but come on, we all know that it's nothing but an excuse to waste time. My dear opponents, we are human beings. We are allowed to have weaknesses. My opponents are here stuck chasing perfection. Not a single person is perfect. Not a single person can ever be perfect. So why would that person waste precious time fixing every single flaw? Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Neturi Anjana from the audience.
Am I audible? If you're still wasting your time obsessing over your strengths, you're not just misguided, you're actively sabotaging your own success. Let's be real. You're not focusing on your strength because it's the smartest move. You are doing it because it's easy, because confronting your weaknesses would actually require effort. Until you stop babying your strengths, you'll stay exactly where you are, comfortable, stagnant, and blissfully unaware of what's holding you back. My dear opponents, have you ever heard of the delayed gratification theory? The delayed gratification theory is about choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's the ability to resist immediate satisfaction in favor of a bigger, more meaningful reward later. To my surprise, my opponents over here mentioned that enhancing strength enables to see quick results in shorter period of time, keeping them motivated and productive. That's instant gratification. A quick fix with short-lived results like a sugar rush. It feels great in the moment, but wears off fast, leaving you exactly where you started. Except now, you're craving even more empty validations. My opponents also mentioned that enhancing strength builds confidence. Well, according to APA research, 70 to 80% of individuals report increased self-confidence after addressing their personal weaknesses. Ignoring weaknesses doesn't protect confidence, it limits it. Hiding behind your strengths is cowardly. Real confidence comes from confronting your weaknesses and conquering them. Ignoring flaws doesn't make you grow as an individual, it makes you fragile and delusional. My opponents also mentioned that growth is not always about fixing what's broken. It's not always about fixing what's broken, but it depends more on fixing what is broken. It's like a car engine. It's like a car without an engine that can't move without addressing its weaknesses. So yeah, stay comfy, stay predictable. Keep talking about how great you are. Meanwhile, we'll be over here actually growing. Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Kiva Harvard from your board.
My opponents mentioned that when you focus on your strengths, you won't yield faster results. Well, let me enlighten you with some jaw-dropping evidence. Ever heard of Gukesh Damaraj? He dropped out of school after grade 4 and focused on his chess career, which was his primary strength. Today, he is the third world-class chess champion at only the age of 17 and the chess grandmaster. My dear opponents, focus on your strength. Maybe then you'll actually be recognized. You're basically implying us that we should be average and focus on things that will never let you be great at anything. Your limitations that will never allow you to be recognized. Because you don't have the potential nor the motivation when you try to overcome your weaknesses over your own strengths. That's not self-growth, my dear opponents. That's basically seizing your self-growth with the wrong mindset. You become better and better and exceptional when you focus on your strengths, on what motivates you best. My opponents mentioned that focusing on weaknesses allows for an all-rounded personal growth and improvement. Personal development isn't about making everything equally mediocre. It's about focusing at what you do best and making yourself extraordinary. Here's a newsflash. Personal development doesn't mean being average at everything. You're wasting precious time trying to be just okay at everything when you could be a master at one thing. You don't need to fix what's broken. You need to double down on what works and make it unstoppable. That's what we are talking about today. That's self-growth. That's personal development. My opponents mentioned that addressing weaknesses builds resilience and mental strength. You think addressing weaknesses builds resilience? Or try addressing frustration instead. The idea that overcoming weaknesses builds character is a myth. The reality? It builds frustration, burnout, and stagnation. When you're constantly battling against yourself, you're grinding yourself down. It's not going to get you anywhere. And my dear opponents, please don't raise your voice, raise your arguments, because your volume can't cover up the lack of logic in your words. Thank you.
Next, we have Raisa Ritti from the proposed. Straight. Am I audible? Can I begin? My opponents mentioned that enhancing your strengths allows you to maximize your natural talents. Yeah, apparently, my opponents popped out of their mother's womb running 100-meter races and writing 20-page essays with no flaws whatsoever. But here's the truth. Being naturally gifted doesn't make you perfect in every area. Take Michael Jordan. While he was an incredible offensive player, he knew that to be the best, he had to address his weaknesses. Instead of resting on his strengths, Jordan worked hard to improve his defense. And by addressing his weaknesses, he became a well-rounded player and ultimately the greatest of all time. The second speaker of my opposition mentioned that weaknesses will make you lose sight of your passions. My dearest opposition, if a person is truly passionate, he will be driven to focus on his weaknesses, see where he lacks, and spot any gaps. Because just like Michael Jordan, focusing on his weaknesses didn't limit his growth, it boosted him to where he is right now. My opposition's first speaker mentioned that focusing on overcoming your weaknesses can bring you down. My worthy opponents, that's what will happen when you obsess over your weakness, rather than do anything to overcome them. It's only by confronting and actively working to overcome those weaknesses that you unlock the potential for growth. Research by APA shows that individuals who overcome their weaknesses experience greater long-term happiness and achievement, not stress, as you implied. They also said that by overcoming your weaknesses, you develop a perfectionist mindset. According to countless psychologists, perfectionism is defined as obsessing over improvement in areas that don't need it. And what is enhancing strengths again? Yeah, improving areas that you're already good at. So my opponents are actually supporting perfectionism. And they also said that by overcoming your weaknesses, you lose the ability to become a master of one thing. But the truth is, there's a famous saying, jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than master of one. Thank you. I would like to invite Anasha Lisa of the Am I audible? Oh man, forgot the dictionary again. So skill development means the process of learning, improving, or refining abilities to enhance performance in various areas. While weaknesses is an area where a person struggles, lacks proficiency, or performs poorly. So while you're trying to climb mountains while the straight path is right next to you, that's your strength. That's where you use your strength to leverage to become an excellent person. I must say, listening to their arguments might just be the best example of why focusing on strength is much more effective. Michael Jordan, defensive skills, offensive skills, yeah. His defensive skills was his lack of skill development, not a weakness. So all he did was develop his skill, not overcome his weakness. The definition of weakness is to get the best of something after a hard struggle. You learned your entire lifetime to be in struggle just so you could overcome every single weakness. That's comfort? Sorry, you said comfort for strength, my bad. You all learn physics, right? Great. So using your strength is being in comfort to becoming better.
So you can easily become Isaac Newton because you know physics, because you're in comfort. Great, catch. Gravity. Who discovered gravity? Isaac Newton. And he did that because he was in comfort? No, he did that after endless failures. Because he was not enhancing his strength enough. That is what made him a better person today. His flaw was not making his friends. Did he discover gravity because he made friends? No. So what you're saying is that I would be a better person in chess just because I can draw the Mona Lisa and dance like Michael Jackson? No, because that is a weakness. Skill development is where it's in regard of chess. Please do save me the time that you all have to overcome every single weakness, because the topic is personal growth depends more on overcoming weaknesses. We're not saying don't completely ignore your weaknesses. We're saying give your priorities to something that can make you better. We are here to say you are better because you have strengths. They are saying you are better because you struggle. Thank you.
The teams will be provided 3 minutes each to sum up and prepare the rebuttal, which will be presented by the team leader. Each leader will get 2 minutes to sum up their points and for rebuttal.
To the honorable judges, let me ask you this. Would you rather judge a debate team that excels in rhetoric or ones that busy overcoming their fear of public speaking mid-debate? Exactly. Focusing on strength is what makes winners stand out, and today our team has demonstrated this with our preparation, articulation, and confidence to present a compelling case that building on strength far outweighs the obsession with fixing weaknesses. Let's take a moment to appreciate what this debate is really about. Growth, but not just any growth, it's personal growth, the art of becoming better than we were yesterday. We are not here to deny the existence of weaknesses or their importance, but to make one simple, logical point that growth is about becoming better and not perfect. The very boy that I mentioned at the start of this debate didn't talk about being best at math or music. Rather, he poured everything into his love for the game. He's none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. To my beloved audience, the opposition wants you to settle for less, to focusing on flaws like walking when you have the ability to run. We, on the other hand, offer a path where strength leads the way, a path where growth is exponential, and your best self isn't a possibility, it's a guarantee. To my fellow opponents, I request you to hear me out for a while. If you still believe in fixing weaknesses is way more than enhancing strength, I suggest starting with your sum-up speech. The choice is clear, my dear audience. The only weakness left for you to overcome is doubting that we are right. With that, our team rests our case. Oh, sorry, that's not weaknesses sound like. With that, our team rests our case. Thank you.
I would like to invite Anne Sharon from Royal House.
Am I audible? My team and I have consistently been emphasizing that when you give more priority to overcoming weakness, that is when you see actual growth. Proving that you stand and those who have first-hand experiences overcoming their weakness. Yet, my opposition seems to be ignorant and contradicting your own minds, which might be one of your weaknesses that you need to overcome. The opposition wants you to believe that focusing on your strength is all you need for success. That's cute. You know what that is? Comfort zone maintenance. Growth is not for the weak-hearted. Growth is earned through the pain of tearing yourself apart and rebuilding yourself stronger, unbreakable, and unstoppable. We will not be silent. We will not let comfort and ease lure us into stagnation, because we will fight tooth and nail for a future built on resilience, transformation, and unshakable will. Because we refuse. We refuse to let our weaknesses define us, to let our struggles break us. No, they will shape us, forge us, make us stronger than we ever imagined. We will fight against every doubt, every failure, every limitation that dares to stand in our way. Growth is not found in the safety of our strength. It is wrested from the joys of our struggle, carved from the stone of our shortcomings, ignited by the fire of our failures. This is our stand, ladies and gentlemen. We will sharpen ourselves against our flaws, and we will become greater than we ever were. As a matter of fact, last year my oppositions couldn't make it to the finals, but this year they recognized their weaknesses, turned them into strength, spent countless hours refining their arguments, and mastering their timing. Now they stand here today as the oppositions, not because they're the best, but because they've learned to overcome their weakness. Tell me, what benefit do you know that overcoming weakness is the way? It is quite literally in front of you. So I rest my case. Thank you.
English Department views international schools to address the guest.
Am I audible? Am I audible? Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. It's really a great pleasure to be here addressing this debate competition. I was here previously and have noticed that the best speakers are here on the platform. And it's giving us a really tough time to sit there judging the either sides. So I'll just comment on this debate competition, the hard work, the perseverance, and the effort of the participants are really showcased over here. And I really like to congratulate each and every one over here for whatever you have put forth. Really admirable. Thank you. A debate is not just about winning or losing. It's the exchange of ideas, the sharpening of minds, and the fostering of healthy discourse. And in that regard, I think that this debate competition is really a worthy one. It has put forth a lot of ideas, both pros and cons, and it has made us to think. It has made us to think on these topics. And the selection of topics, first of all, the English, I think the English department has done it. The selection of topics is really a good one. And what I felt is not only the performance on the stage, the audience in front, they were equally participating in this healthy competition. We had a vibrant audience over there, which I think helped them or they gave them that motivation to speak for them, isn't it? So, once again, I thank the school, I thank the principal for giving us this opportunity to witness such a wonderful performance. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I have Mr. Ramanji, Mr.
No, taking it back. Taking it. Oh my god. Oh. Okay. Okay, okay. I think we're talking about this. You're that side, you can take it. Oh, you're that side without it. That's I'm actually confident. Oh, you say yes. No way. Oh, never mind.
Distinguished panel of judges, head of the Department of English and members of the Department of English, my colleagues on the staff, Deputy Principal, Mr. Shakil Ismat, housemasters, mistresses, I would say instead of students, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that the judges today were given a tough time to choose between the winners and the losers. Having been in the audience for a while and then watching the proceedings online, live coverage, I was but amazed about the performances of our dear ladies and gentlemen this afternoon on stage. Once the results are ready, tell me when to stop. I've been asked to speak until the results are ready. You have to tolerate a bit. What I thought, without hyperbole, without exaggeration, was that you were amazing. You debated like philosophers. The first debate was to choose between family and friends. As you know, we have no choice when it comes to family. It's the root. It is what you have inherited. But the second, it's your chosen family. I would say it's like Wi-Fi and mobile data. Wi-Fi, it's strong. At times it is weak, but it's always connected. Family is like that. When it comes to mobile data, it's more reliable. But it also has its shortcomings. It's not always connected. And there is another thing. You get lost when you go out of credit. But in life, it's a balance between both. You need family, that is your root. To make the foundation strong, your first school is your family. And then friends are like wings to soar high, that is needed. So our respected members of the two teams, particularly the boys, they prove themselves as to how well that their side of the argument was sustained. The girls' debate was about weakness and strength, whether you have to overcome your weaknesses, which would influence developing your personality, or enhancing your skills, strengthening your skills, which is more important to develop your personality. It also has both sides, like family and friends. If you focus on your weakness, imagine your mom has taught you something to cook. You have baked something, baked or spoiled that culinary lesson. You cannot eat that. Are you going to sit and fix that? Or are you going to prepare an amazing dish the second time? Both are important. You must prepare a better dish, amazing dish later. What would enable you to do that is because you learned the lesson as to how well that you should do it because of the weaknesses that you came across. So both are important in our life's journey. Identifying weaknesses and fixing them, it's like the hammer and the chisel, right? And also enhancing your skills in a better way to strengthen yourself. So today, I've been asked to take this opportunity also to thank not only these wonderful ladies and gentlemen who displayed their skill up on stage, but also those men and women who were behind the scenes to develop their debating skills and showcase the power of words that they put forward before you. First of all, I must thank Mr. Ruslan Amin, the head of the Department of English, and all the members of the English department for organizing this and preparing this wonderful setting. Not only today is the climax, but it has been running for a while. For over 3 months, we had a couple of rounds of debating competitions. And also your house masters and mistresses who trained you, who facilitated the training and guided you. Your parents or mentors in different forms who have been guiding you. A big thank you to all of them. And the audience who was cheering you, supporting you in different ways. Your chosen family, I would say. And at the same time, the teachers who had been guiding and supporting you. And a very big thank you to all the judges who came here despite their commitments in their own schools to help, support, and guide. And finally, these ladies and gentlemen who are seated before you today from Dune International School and Jawahar International School, who had taken the time to be with you all and to give out the results of the winning teams. So big thank you to all of you all, and also last but not least, the media team who was behind this team promoting and showcasing your talents. Special thank you to Mr. Adil, Izzadeen, and also Miss Sarah Kamil, and Ms. Arafat, the president of the media team, and all those who supported in this endeavor. With that, these are the scores. No crackers, huh? Okay. The boys. I'm good at words, but not on numbers. Hope I don't mess it up. Right, okay. Kalani versus Valave. The winning team got 536 points, and the best losers got 591, I would say. And the winners, or let me give the girls' results. Valave versus Mahavali. Valave versus Mahavali, yeah. The winning team secures 568, and the others, the losers, 558. I won't say losers, the runners-up. Okay, boys, the winners obtaining 536 points is Warehouse. And the champions of the girls contest, obtaining 568.5 and winning the Inter-House Debating Championship of Sri Lankan International School Riyadh for the year 2024 is Mahavali House. The best debater, the best debater of the boys segment is Iyad India's of Warehouse. And the best debater in the girls segment is Ananta Vishwa.